The past few weeks I've seen this channel spend a lot of time in the AI music world, and it's a ton of fun for me because when I was a younger man, my aspirations professionally were to be a soundtrack composer. But life got in the way, and well, I don't need to tell that story. In any case, all of this new technology has got me back in the music mindset, and the tools that are available now are just blowing my mind. And we've shared a lot of them here on the channel recently, and I will continue to do so because music and sound in general is an integral part of the creative process. Welcome back to the channel where we discuss in depth the creative uses of AI, and today I have what was mind-blowing application to me. Since I've been sharing a lot of these music applications, particularly with voice conversion and things like that, I heard from several people about this program called RipX DAW that I absolutely had to check out. And in fact, when I was doing a recent scan of my junk folder, I found an invitation from them to have a 3-month evaluation license so that I could dig into RipX and then share it with you. And I said, this sounds great, because I looked at some of the videos that other people had done, and this program's been around for a while. And it was absolutely fascinating to me. In fact, I couldn't believe that the people reviewing this thing weren't more excited about it. But at the same time, the more I watched these videos, I learned, okay, it's not perfect. There's a lot of shortcomings. And I understand why some people would say that it's perhaps not ready for prime time in a production environment. But as always, that really depends on what your production environment is producing. I really do believe that this approach to audio editing is the future. So this may be an early iteration of the future, but it's a pretty good start if you ask me. Now, there's so much to this program, I can't possibly go through it all, and I'm just really digging into it myself, so to present myself as an expert would be silly. However, I can, with confidence, show you at least one use case that you might find interesting. We've been talking a lot about harmonies and building harmonies, and in general, different ways to edit sound produced by some of these AI generators. Now, RipX by itself is not meant necessarily just for AI music generation. It's there for you to help disassemble and rearrange and play with on all kinds of levels, but I will of course show you its basic functionality. So when you first load the program, you are greeted with this screen. And along the left, you have all these sections that are divided up into these little collapsing and expanding tabs, including the ability to set any audio or MIDI inputs. We're not really going to be dealing with that today in this particular demo. We're going to be dealing with pre-recorded things. And this will all make sense more when we get into the program. And on the right, we have more expanding tabs. One is an effects tab, things like chorus and delay and things you're familiar with. We'll be playing with these for sure. Then we have a sounds tab, and down here, a loops tab. Although we probably won't get too much into the loops or the sounds today, I can give you a quick demo, but that's really not the purpose of this thing. This area here basically determines how you're going to bring in a song to RipX. Working from the right to left, you can simply open a folder and import any kind of song. You can click this button and record something directly from your microphone, or you can click the brain and you'll be taken to this page, which may change by the time you see it, but it basically gives you links to these AI music generation sites like Udio, SUNO, Stable Audio, and then music effects. If you're watching this channel, I'm sure you're pretty much familiar with Udio and SUNO, so we're going to go ahead and use SUNO here. They have an interesting integration with these services, which I will demonstrate as we do this. So let's just go on over to SUNO by clicking there. I'm already logged into my account, and we'll just click on Create. Now, I've been getting a little bit of grief about the selections of music that I've been choosing because, given my age, I choose songs that, I don't know, are kitschy to me or interesting to me, but I know it's a new time. I think I had a couple of suggestions about doing EDM or something like that. I've been playing with some things over here. It worked out pretty well, but we'll do something here from scratch. We're going to go into custom mode, and we'll have it write its own song. How about a song about the difficulties of choosing a restaurant on a second date, and generate lyrics. And for the style of music down here, I'll write EDM trap. And if you were to ask me to describe trap, I would not be able to do that. All right, we're just going to go with the default lyrics. We're not going to nitpick here. We'll just click create and we'll see what it comes up with. God, I got to put on headphones. Oh, here we go.
Make up my mind, it's driving me insane, trying to choose a place for our second date. Italian or Chinese, I don't know what to do. I just wanna impress you, show I'm into you. You say you're not picky, but I know that's a lie, cause I saw you rolling your eyes at that burger joint outside. I don't wanna mess up, don't wanna let you down, but every option that I give you, just turn it around. Should we go for fancy or keep it low key? me, should we try something new or stick to what we know? I wish I had a crystal ball to help me decide, but all this restaurant talk is killing our vibe.
I like that. I like that. All right, hold on. We got to go listen to the other one.
I can't make up my mind, it's driving me insane. Trying to choose a place for a second date. Italian or Chinese, I don't know what to do. I just wanna impress you, show I'm into you. You say you're not picky, but I know that's a lie. Cause I saw you rolling your eyes at that burger joint outside. I don't wanna mess up.
I'm going to the first one. And so now when I click download audio, it activates the RipX DAW. And if I open it up, it pops up this dialog, which is basically the same dialog you would get when you were going to input any other song. This would come up and it asks you how you want to separate the instruments. In this case, I do want to separate all the instruments. I want to break up everything I can break up. I don't need to have this checked here because I'm not doing that. It's estimating that the ripping time for this is 2 minutes, so I'm going to click on rip. Now what it's doing is much like a stem separation program. It's separating out all the different elements of sound that it hears and tries to classify them as certain instruments. Sometimes it's correct and sometimes it's not, but it's okay because you can always rename how they classify the instruments. But at that point, you will have control over each note, each individual element, almost like it was a MIDI file, except that we're dealing with audio. So as soon as this is done ripping, we'll dig in. Okay, we're done. We'll go to Indecisive Love. We'll click on that. And along here we have voice, piano, guitar, bass, kick, percussion, and strings. So this means it found something that it wants to classify in each of these categories. If I just click play,
Make up my mind, it's driving me insane.
it's exactly what we played. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and then I can solo each one. So this is just the isolated vocal. There's nothing here on the piano track. Let's zoom out and see if there's anything at all. It has one stray note out here, which is probably a mistake. And if we were to jump over there and listen, yeah, probably not necessary. So really, we can delete that note. All right, let's see the guitar track. Let's go back to the beginning. So that's what they're calling the guitar. We don't really hear from it again for the rest of the song. We've got a little bit of a signal of it way over here, which if we click it, we can hear nothing, which means it's basically useless anyway. So the guitar track is there. Let's see what we got in the bass track here. Okay, kind of quiet. This is an opportunity to just briefly show you how this sounds tab works over here. This allows you to replace the sound that is in the track with these sort of MIDI sounds or instruments. Just play it and I'll change it in real time and you can see what happens. So I'm just going to play this, go under classic, and I'll just click these various instruments. So there's the bass guitar, bassoon, so toggling these instruments turns them on and off. I'm just going to leave that all alone right now because none of that really sounds good to me, and we're just going to stay with this bass, even though it does sound a little muffled. But that, again, is not so much the fault of RipX or any stem separator. It's the quality of the music coming in from these AI generators. It just doesn't have the fidelity on each individual track to give you what you want, so you get stuff like this. But in the context of everything,
It's driving me insane.
it works just fine. So the kick, again, just seems to be present here at the beginning, maybe later too, but yeah, here we go. It really kicks in here later in the song.
That's a lie, 'cause I saw
Percussion
if you just turn it.
and strings. All the other stuff. It sounds terrible by itself, but the song wouldn't really be the same without it. So if we take out all that noise, let's go back to the beginning and hear the difference. Even though by itself sounds pretty bad, let's listen to all of it together. And now let's take this out. Actually, listen again all together. It adds a little bit of stuff, but is it necessary? I mean, that's much cleaner without that, don't you think? But we can't delete the entire track because it definitely comes into play here later.
It's driving me insane, trying to choose a place for our second date.
So if we took the strings out there,
I don't know what to do. I just want to impress you.
It makes too much of a difference. So we can't delete all those, but we can delete these. All that noise. Let's just take that out. Go back to the beginning. Play. And actually all that burp at the beginning, that should come out too. Just have to figure out where that is. It's basically all the notes before those start. So if I can click on the master track so I can select everything, I'm just going to take all these notes and delete them. There's still a weird stray, but I guess we could take that out and post somewhere. Okay, so now what can we do with this? We've got all these parts separated. Let's just zoom in on the voice track here. As I click on any of these segments, you hear the notes. Now, a lot of these stray marks you would actually delete to clear things up because it's just kind of noise. It's picked up like this probably. You can barely even hear it. It's inaudible. It has nothing to do with the string sound that we're going to be hearing, so we could delete those safely. But here's the voice. So you hear "Make Up My Mind." So let's say we wanted to add some harmony to that. I could select this. I could control click and select. So now I've got the both of them. And if I hold down control and move these two up,
make up my mind.
And I can use the up arrow to
make up my mind. Make up my mind. Make up my mind.
Right? So now
make up my mind. It's driving me insane.
And do something similar over here.
To choose, trying to choose.
See?
Trying to choose a place for our second date. Italian or Chinese.
See, that's stray noise. So is that. If I solo the voice track, then I don't have to worry about all the other stuff either.
Italian or Chinese, I don't know what to do. I just want to impress.
So here we've got the sentence. I just want to solo this.
I just want to impress you.
I can easily delete these two. Get rid of this. Now I can also right click and click on group, and now this whole thing can move together and I don't have to worry about all those segments. So again, I can click control and hold control while I move this. And now
I just want to impress you, so I'm into you. You said
from the beginning.
Make up my mind. It's driving me insane, trying to choose a place for our second date. Italian or Chinese, I don't know what to do. I just want to impress you, so I'm into you. You say enough.
One of the things that does bug me is when I click stop, I go back to the beginning of the file every time. I don't like that. Here, may as well clean it up as I go along.
You said, but I know that's a lie, 'cause I saw you rolling your eyes at that burger joint outside.
Okay, I freaking love this. I think here,
Saw you rolling your eyes at that burger joint outside.
right there is kind of a crazy lift in the pitch, and we can fix that and other pitch anomalies by right mouse clicking and choosing on draw pitch, and then I can just sort of meow.
That burger joint.
And now that weird thing's gone. Just to give you an extreme example, just to show you what this can do, if I was to
Rolling your eyes at that burger joint.
go like this.
That burger joint. That burger joint. Rolling your that burger joint.
I'm going to undo all the way. Go back to this tool, move and resize.
Saw you.
Which, by the way, these tools have numeric keypad shortcuts, which I still have to get used to.
Saw you rolling your eyes at that
I can move this over, and I could even elongate it
burger.
if I want to.
That burger joint.
Now, of course, I want to do a harmony with this whole thing.
Saw you rolling your eyes at that burger joint.
I need this. Group these again, and
I saw you rolling your eyes at that. I saw you rolling your. I saw you. I saw you rolling your. I saw you. I saw you rolling your eyes at that burger joint.
Now I could go in and fix the pitch of individual notes. I'm not looking for the interval to be perfect harmony, but that works. So I don't need to change any of those. We can also do stereo panning of any of these sounds. So for example, this whole group 4 here, while it's selected, if I go over to stereo panning and move this over to 36%. Now, see how that scrolls back to the beginning? If you have it on headphones, you'll hear that that was on the right.
I just wanna impress you, so I'm into you.
So now we go to group 3 and stereo pan to the left. Again, my amateur production skills, but just showing you what you can do. For example, I only want the harmony to start at turn. So I got to find where turn is. So right about there. And then I can split this. Split. I did the control, click, and drag.
Turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around.
That's not going to work just that straight interval. I'm going to have to edit some of these notes.
Turn it around. Turn it.
So I got to listen now.
And I give you just turn it around.
Let me split here. That's clearly the word it.
Turn it around. Round, round. Turn. Turn.
Terrible. Come on, Bob. Turn it around.
Turn it around. Give you just turn it around. Should we go for fancy or keep it low key? Should we try something new or stick to what we know? I wish I had a crystal ball to help me decide.
I'm going to try something. So I'm going to take try something. I'm going to make it a group, and I'm going to control drag. And let's see where it goes. Yeah, so I should be able to just. No, it's got to be right up on it. Yeah, I'm going to make a loop. Yeah, okay, cool. Get the idea of what I want to do. So I'm going to ping pong these. Group 5, there's stereo panning over here on the left. And group 6, I'll stereo pan on the other side. And then that last one, I want to beef it up. Just bring up the level on that one. Not that much. Okay, that's a little bit extreme on the pan there. So just showing you how you can repurpose data like that. We also have a low pass filter, I think. Yeah, throw a little low pass, high pass in there, change it up. You kind of lose some stuff there, but again, that's kind of AI. That's got a lot of overtones in it. I don't know how well the harmony is going to do. Let's see. Control G also makes a group. Actually, I like that, even though it's not a perfect harmony. It's just that mesh sort of harmonizer sound. That song just finishes there because SUNO only gave us about 30 seconds of music anyway, so we don't need to worry about that part. I'll show you briefly the loop thing. If I go down here to loop and I say maybe drum and bass and drag this onto the timeline up here, like where that line starts, it automatically adjusted to the tempo. So that's kind of cool, actually. I could split and get rid of this part. So let's just peek in from the beginning again.
Make up my mind, it's driving me insane. Trying to choose a place for our second date. Italian or Chinese, I don't know what to do. I just wanna impress you, so I'm into you. You saying nothing, but I know that's a lie. Cause I saw you rolling your eyes at that burger joint outside. I don't wanna mess up, don't wanna let you down. But every option that I give you, just turn it around. Should we go for fancy or keep it low key? Should we try something new? So what we know, I wish I had a crystal ball that helped me decide. But all this was my talk is killing our vibe.
I thought I deleted that stuff. Then once you're done with your masterpiece, you can go up here to File and Export, and you've got choices. Obviously, select your folder, Select your file type. Do you want the full rip? Do you want selected times? Do you want to loop a region? Do you want to create a single file, separate stems or separate layers? In this case, I just want to create a single file so I can send this up to Spotify and start making my millions. Click on export, and my musical future is assured. That's a very small subset of what this program can do, but I did want to at least show you the use cases so that you could understand how it takes music apart and at least some of the options you have for messing with it after the fact. So if this intrigues you, I invite you to go check it out. You got a 21-day free trial where you can play with all of this stuff, music you've got laying around the house or new stuff that you do with AI generation. You might surprise yourself with how much fun you have. I certainly did. If this is the kind of stuff you love to hear about and learn about, well, you know what to do. You got to subscribe. You see, subscribe. That's how it works here.
If you subscribe now, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you do not, I will look for you. I will find you. And I